Almost every single video on my channel is about watches themselves, but I think it's also important to talk about accessories because a great watch on a bad strap will be utterly disappointing. Today, I want to talk about the first strap I bought when I first got into watches, the Fullmosa Axus. You might have heard of it because it is one of the best-selling straps on Amazon and it has tons of great reviews. Now that I've owned a couple of them for a few years, I think I'm ready to talk about my experience a bit and give the pros and cons of the Fullmosa Axus. Let's get right into it. I'm going to start out by talking about the negatives because I think it's important to know what's bad about these straps, to know if you can overlook these things to save a few bucks, or if you'd rather pay more and get something higher in quality. So, the first thing that you won't be able to see on this video is that the quality control of Fullmosa can be a bit lacking. The first Fullmosa strap I bought, which is this black Axus leather band here, the stitchings that you can see here were very sharp. There was kind of a plasticky thing poking out, which would dig into my wrists and leave red marks and just be very hurtful to wear. So within 24 hours of receiving it, I sent it back to Fullmosa. Fortunately, they have a pretty good customer service, so they didn't ask any questions. They refunded my money, and then I could simply order a new one, which kind of balances out the poor quality control in my opinion. Another thing that I dislike though is that they advertise this Axus strap as a genuine leather strap. And these days, genuine leather doesn't really mean anything anymore because you might expect one piece of high quality leather, but in reality, this is made from bonded leather, which is a mix of cheaper leathers shredded and put together back. So it's not the higher quality leather that you will find on the market for sure. So it's kind of meaningless to say that this is genuine leather in my opinion. Now, one of the things I dislike the most about this Fullmosa Axus is that it has a glossy finish. As you can see here, it is quite a reflective surface, which in my opinion gives away the fact that this is a cheaper strap. It's kind of feels plasticky and a bit tacky, so I wouldn't wear this strap on an expensive, let's say $400 or $500 plus watch because it would take away from the high quality feel of it. Whereas this one, you can see that I've used it on my Seiko SNK 807, which is a timepiece that I've bought for I think about 70 bucks. So the cheaper Axus strap doesn't really take away from the quality of my SNK 807, but I would never use this strap on a $500 plus piece. You might also notice that it loses a bit of color over time. Now, this is not that visible on my brown strap here, but you can still see that the edges around the rings here are kind of darker, almost black. Where this discoloration will be the most apparent is on the colored straps. Here I bought this blue leather band for my Orient, and you can see that there's a lot of discoloration around the rings here. The edges are almost white, and it's also the case for the holes here and maybe a bit at the tip. You can also see discoloration all over. So if you're going to buy a colored Fullmosa Axus, just know that there's a very good chance that there will be a few spots of discoloration here and there. You might also notice that it can get pretty wrinkly pretty fast, and it's not the good type of wrinkles. This is the wrinkles that shows that this is a strap that's made from multiple layers of leather that are glued upon each other. And the upper layer here is basically just a small film of leather to cover the other pieces, and it's slowly starting to detach from the rest of the strap. So this makes for a very wrinkly surface. Speaking of this multi-layered design, you can see here at the tip of my brown leather strap that the two pieces of leather are starting to get unglued, which is a dead giveaway that this is a cheaper strap because within 2 years it's already starting to separate the layers of leather. So once again, if this is a watch that you're going to wear every single day, then maybe get a higher quality strap because this one will show quite a lot of wear and tear. But as you can see on my black and blue Fullmosa Axus, the tip is just fine here. There's much less wrinkles. So if it's for a watch that you're going to wear maybe 2 or 3 times a month, then it will probably hold up just fine. So this is something that you have to take into account before buying the Axus. I'm now going to talk about the positives of the Fullmosa Axus, because obviously there are positive things to be said about this Fullmosa strap, or else it wouldn't get as many sales and as many good reviews on Amazon. The first thing that I like a lot about the Axus is these quick change spring bars, which help change straps within a matter of seconds with absolutely no headache. If you've already changed a strap before that doesn't have these quick change spring bars, you know how much of a pain in the neck it can be. Sometimes I've spent 5, maybe 10 minutes just trying to get it off, whereas these within 5 or 10 seconds, as you can see here, you can change from one color to the other. Some of you guys might be concerned about the durability, but in the 2 years I've owned them, I've never had a scare where it would pull away or something like that. It's pretty sturdy, pretty strong, as strong as any other spring bars I've ever seen. So not a concern in my opinion. So pretty good features, these quick change spring bars. The second thing that is a big positive for this Fullmosa Axus is how comfortable it is. In my opinion, this will be pretty much as comfortable as any other higher quality leather strap. Maybe even a bit more comfortable because it's not as stiff as real leather. So this is the kind of band that you can put on and forget that you even had it on after a few hours, because it is super fun to wear. I also want to mention that the stitching is very nice. Even after 2 years plus of ownership, it is still super crisp in color, and it's also very tight. Absolutely no loose ends anywhere. So this is something, in my opinion, that will certainly outlast the strap. So very cool stitching, very high quality. As you can see on my SNK 807, I chose the white stitching because it matches the numerals and the hands. But if I had, let's say, a watch with a black face or maybe black numerals, then I would have gotten the same leather band but with black stitching, which would match the dials. The leather band itself is also offered in a plethora of different colors. You've got the more basic ones like a brown, black, even different shades of brown, but then you can get real funky with it and buy pink, green, orange, blue, etc. There's, I think, over 20 different colors you can get for the Fullmosa Axus. So this is definitely one of the reasons why I bought these, is that they're super easy to change, and then you can get different colors. So if you're someone that likes to change straps often and try different colorways, this will be perfect because you can do it easily without breaking the bank. If I had to change something about the Fullmosa, it would be this logo here. I would simply leave a sterile surface with absolutely nothing. I think it would look a bit better, but that's absolutely no big deal and certainly not a deal breaker at all. So in conclusion, is the Fullmosa Axus a good leather band? I would say yes, but it depends on your circumstances. If you're looking for a strap that you will wear every once in a while, maybe 2 or 3 times a month, then it's definitely a good strap because it is cheap, super comfortable, and it won't show too much wear and tear. But if you're looking for a daily strap that you will wear every single day at work, at the gym, etc., then I would suggest spending $15 or $20 more on a higher quality strap, which would last you probably for years. Whereas this one, when worn daily, will pretty much be useless after a year or two because it will be so worn out. So also on cheaper watches like entry-level Seikos, Orients, Citizens, etc., I think it looks okay. But for a higher priced watch, $400 or $500 plus, like a Hamilton Khaki or something like that, then I would definitely spend a bit more to get a higher quality strap, which will look much better and not take away from the high-end quality of your timepiece. And that's it for today. I will see you guys around in my next video.